get back in our normal routine on Wednesday.
Anthony, what did the further testing show on Mike, and what's his status for this weekend and for the upcoming future?
You know, his knee is sore, and so it's day to day, and we'll evaluate him at the end of the week to see where he's at.
Did all ligament damage get ruled out?
ACL, I know it's been ruled out. I know that, so that was the one I was most concerned about.
There's still swelling right now, and that's the reason for it.
I'm not sure. You know, I haven't seen Mike yet, but I just know that the knee is still sore right now.
What about Nick Novak? Where are you at with him?
You know, he's kind of the same boat. You know, we'll see where he's at day to day. You know, we're bringing in some kickers tomorrow. We're going to work some people out, and if Nick's better at the end of the week, you know, we'd probably go with Nick. But if he's not, we got to look at other options.
Is it potential that you sign somebody on Tuesday just in case you're not?
I wouldn't count that out. You know, having two kickers on the roster right now, I would not count that out because we need an insurance policy. You know, what happened last week, I don't want that to happen again.
Anthony, when you think about where your team is right now in relation to the playoff race, especially considering how this season started, what kind of perspective can you put on what it all means right now?
Well, I mean, we're still fighting, man. I mean, right now we're not even bowl eligible, so we're trying to get to that next win, and that's where we have to look at it. You know, we're still the hunters. We're not the hunted, and I know we're game out in our division, but we have some catching up to do.
You feel fortunate though just to be in that position, given everything?
No doubt, no doubt. And this position that, you know, I saw us in all along, even when we were 0-4, you know, no one abandoned ship. You know, everyone knew what their responsibilities were and how we were going to get there. And guys just stayed the course. And, I mean, everybody, coaching staff as well, everyone stayed positive. We grew. Hopefully we learned from our mistakes, and we can use that, you know, those mistakes earlier to hopefully help us be more battle-tested now so that when we get in these close games down the stretch, we can win some of these. I think the team is playing smarter right now. You know, the penalties have gone down. The decision-making at the end of the games is better. You know, it helps when you're not playing, you know, when you're in games where you're up by more than a score. But I like the way we're playing right now. But we still have a lot of work to do.
What are the potential pitfalls of playing a winless team right now that you're favored to beat by a couple of touchdowns?
You know, like I say, I don't know. In this league, you can get beat any given Sunday. And so, especially this team won one game last year, and they beat us. So I would hate to say this is a pitfall game for us or a trap game for us because it really shouldn't be. You know, we got all the motivation in the world to go out and play, mainly because they're next on the schedule, but also because, you know, this team is young, they're talented, and they put it all together. They can beat anybody.
Does it help that you guys lost them last year to get your players thinking that this could happen again?
I wasn't here last year, but I'm pretty sure they remember losing to this team last year. Yeah.
Anthony, when it comes to kicking, in your mind, what's sort of like the spot where you've got to have points from? Is it 40 yards? Is it 45 yards? Do you have a number in your mind where it's like we need to make every one of these kicks? Or
I think we need to make every single one of them. You know, and when we miss one, it's just unfortunate. But, you know, you have to make 50-plus field goals in this league to win. I was watching the game just this past weekend. Someone hit one from 55, 56, 57 and won a game. You know, so you have to have kickers that can make those kicks.
You guys haven't had that luxury this year. You've had to adjust some strategy because of it. How much has that limited you guys offensively, the fact that, you know, you haven't really gone out and taken a bunch of 50-yarders?
Well, when you're prepared for that, you know, it doesn't affect you as much because you have a plan going into the game. But when it happens during the game, it can kind of throw you off until you make adjustments.
Can you say what kickers you're bringing in or if some of these guys are guys that have been here before?
Yeah, I really can't say because I don't know all their names right now. And some of these guys I've never heard of before. So, to be honest with you, I mean, we may bring in 3 or 4 just to look at. And
I'll be specific. Is Youngway going to be one?
Youngway may be one of those. You know, we brought him in before. You know, we brought him back when Nick had some soreness just to take a look at him, and he did a heck of a job.
Besides Nick and Mike, everybody else for the most part helped?
For the most part, this time of the year, I would say we are a pretty healthy football team.
How about Joe Barksdale? I know he played a lot of snaps and been dealing with it. Did he come through okay?
He came through okay, Eric. And I think he's sore, but I think at the end of the week, Joe's going to be fine.
Was there a big difference with him back there? Could you tell?
You know, Joe, he's a starting right tackle for a reason. You know, Michael did a heck of a job while Joe was out, but I mean, he's our starter for a reason.
You guys did some more stuff with with an extra offensive lineman against Dallas. Did you like those looks and how they kind of worked out?
When we executed those looks, yeah, I did, because you get another tackle on the field instead of a tight end in some blocking situations. But we didn't always execute those looks, so that kind of bit us in the butt a little bit last week.
You could also run some imbalanced look where you move the tackle over.
You do some things like that just to keep the defense off balance a little bit, just to make them think. Everyone has seen it before. That they make their adjustments, but still, if you can create a matchup that's advantageous for your team, then you do it.
I imagine every week you're trying to get Keenan Allen involved in the game plan, but the last couple of weeks, obviously, he's been very productive. What does it mean when you can get him going for the rest of the offense when he plays like that?
Well, we move the sticks. Keenan's a very reliable receiver. He's the number one in this league. He's healthy. He's playing well. And, our offense gets into a rhythm when we can get Keenan going.
Run after catch, too, is going to be
Absolutely. And that's huge. When you can throw high completion passes and a guy can run after catch, that's huge.
I think a lot of people thought before the season that this was the best division in the league, and I think you said that too. How do you view the AFC West now?
I think it's still a really tough division. We've beat each other up a little bit. We've lost some close games, but when you look at the personnel on the other side of the ball, we have some of the best in this league.
With Melvin and Joey playing so well, especially lately, how have you seen opposing offenses maybe adjust to account for them, especially with the things you guys have been doing with moving them around?
How easy?
How have you seen opposing offenses have to adjust to them?
Oh, well, they have to account for those guys. That's in Baxter way. I saw Melvin last week getting double teams like every other play. But when you do that, you got to turn somebody loose free, and that's when you see the interior guys winning more one-on-ones, and pushing the pocket a little bit. But it's hard to help both tackles, and so that's been an advantage for us all year.
Speaking of the interior guys, how much are Brandon and Corey, what they're doing, helping Joey and Melvin on the outside?
Whenever they can push the pocket, it helps tremendously because we can always get edge pressure. But quarterbacks sometimes can just step up and still deliver the mail. But when we can push the pocket and get that edge pressure, now there's nowhere to go. So that's when we get a lot of quarterbacks in trouble.
When you have 8 guys that you've been rotating in there, how much has that helped you in terms of being able to take Joey and Melvin off the field at times and your 2 interior guys and give them some reps?
Yeah, when you have 8-man rotation, that helps tremendously because you can keep those guys fresh. And you can move those guys around, inside, outside. But that rotation has helped tremendously.
Even before his pick six at the end the other day, did Desmond King take a pretty big step forward in that game?
Desmond, he's been playing solid ball. He's been playing real solid. And that's just, he has a knack for making plays when you need plays. He's made those plays all his life. So it didn't surprise me he made one in the game the other day. But, he's been a solid nickel for us all year. And that's a tough spot to play in the slot against someone's number one receiver or a slot receiver because you have a lot of field to defend. And he's handled that well.
Anthony, again, in regards to the King game, if you guys aren't running the ball well, you can do different things with scheme. If you're not getting the ball to Keenan, you can move him around. How do you get better at kicking? In addition to just changing kickers, are there things you can do?
Well, they kickers, they practice and they work their technique and fundamentals like everybody else. It's just, they put in situations where they have to make a play under a lot of pressure, and we expect them to make it.
Is it frustrating as a coach because that's the one thing you can't fix that? I don't know how you could fix that.
It hasn't been over my career, but it's been frustrating sometimes this year. Yeah, I would say that. But, those guys, for the most part, they got to step up and do the job. We got a lot of confidence in Nick, whoever we bring in here, to step up and get it done.